that in just a second. So let me go over here and introduce you to these beautiful ladies. So first we have Miss Chandra Moyer, right? And so say your name again and just tell them a little bit about sort of some of the things that, you know, you've shared with me. Everybody has shared things with me, but I want you again to share only what you feel comfortable sharing, because we're talking about stories of triumph today. And you all been through something. So Chandra, share with us a little bit about some things that you've had to overcome to become the beautiful woman you are today.
All right, well, thank you for having me today.
Thank you for being here.
My name is Chandra Moyer, and my healing journey began about 20 years ago. I was 37 years old. I was a mother, married, with 3 children, when my traumatic past invaded my present. I began having flashbacks, reliving body memories of the trauma of my childhood, and it was quite frightening because I had no memories of what had happened to me. And I thank God for godly counselors, support groups, my husband, who at one day said to me, I don't know who I'm married to anymore. Because he said, I saw a little girl earlier today. Are you going to be the wife that I married? I don't know who you're going to be. And you know, I said to him, I said, honey, I don't know either when this is all over. But I said, I have to trust God in this process because I didn't have all of me, all my parts. I had amnesia wall, I had dissociated. I said, I have to trust God when all this is said and done, that I'm going to be the woman of God that He created me to be. And so today, my husband says he's married to wife number 3. And it's his 3rd wife, and she's the best of all 3. So
thank you so much for sharing your story and things that you've been through in your life from childhood, because some things do creep up in your adulthood.
They do. They do. And you know, you don't realize that, you know, I was always an overcomer. So, you know, I was a major in the Army, I had the look, I had everything on par. So people from the external world would think, she's got it together.
Yeah.
But my personal life, my home life was a wreck.
Yeah.
And struggled with rage, didn't know why I had the rage and anger, which spilled out on my kids. And so, you know, so they've had to go through healing. But, you know, I think the best compliment that I had was from my oldest son, who said to me, Mom, you are not the same person that you were. Because I was a different mother to him than I was with my youngest one. And so, you know, that is a gift. But I just want to encourage some people out here, because for a couple of years, I just cried. I felt like I hemorrhaged. I felt like I bled. I grieved. There was so much loss as I was facing these memories. But, you know, you go through it, and there is life on the other side. There's life with my created God. I have intimacy with Him, the intimacy I have with my husband, the relationship I have with my kids today. I don't believe I would have if I hadn't walked through that healing process.
Now, can I touch on one of the things that we mentioned? One of the things that, you know, you've had to deal with is like with incest. And I think that a lot of people don't realize how serious that is. We hear the word, but we don't really realize what that is. And that could be anything from obviously someone related to you, you know, inappropriately doing things from touching to actually physical acts that they shouldn't be doing. It felt wrong. It felt a little bit off, but it's not until you become that adult that it's like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I have this anger? Why do I have this rage? Why do I have this hatred toward men or this person or women or my mom or whoever? Because as a child, you don't verbalize things. You don't say, so-and-so made me mad, or I hate my mom because she stood by and watched, or I hate my uncle because he touched me that way. And it hurts even more when you still have to see that person.
It is, and you know, it's interesting. And I think when you're pre-verbal, if it starts very young, I was 1.5 years. I was molested till I was 14 years. I was 16, so it was 14 years by my dad. So you're pre-verbal, so you don't really have the words to express the emotion. And as I said, I didn't really have conscious memory. And until that 37 age range, and I just had triggers that started coming. Some of you may be having triggers in your life. My daughter, she looked like me when I was that age, so that began to be a trigger, and things just began to unravel. So you don't have the words to express, but you have all this emotion. And you know what? We pray. I prayed for years, God, deliver me from this anger, because I didn't know what the anger came from. And every year I made New Year's resolution. I'm gonna control this better. I'm gonna get better at this. And every year got worse. And then finally, you know, God's mercy and grace, when I started unraveling, He was answering my prayer. You know, we don't think He's answering our prayer, but He was answering my prayer. And I got to the source, and you know, I don't have that anger and rage anymore.
But I want to go over to Carol Pratt Lowe, and just anything you want to share about